Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back to the Humble Servant Homestead, guys. Today I am back outside in the garden. I'm saying I am back outside in the garden. Oftentimes, that is pretty much where I am out here in the garden, guys, doing some sort of work, whether it may be pulling weeds, whether it may be planting, harvesting. I am out in the garden. So now, of course, it is about that time where we have a few things that need to be harvested. So stay tuned for that. But the topic on why we are here today is these sweet potato slips right here, guys. Okay, so what we're going to do, because yes, we do have some empty space in the garden here after coming in and harvesting quite a bit of stuff, and yes, we want to go ahead and fill those spaces because, like I said, hey, it is springtime. Even though we're almost out of springtime, I still want to go ahead and get some spring planting going. So here we are with these beautiful sweet Korean sweet potato slips that we want to go ahead and plant out. So I have already started with some of the planting, guys. We're not going to really go ahead and do too much of an in-depth video on how we're going to be planting them because it's pretty much the same method like how I go about planting all the rest of my sweet potatoes. Now, it's something that I am actually getting ready to try out here inside of this bed. Now, these beds right here, I know that they are compact with nutrients. Simple reason why of how I come on in and I tend to these beds right here. Pretty much it's just all organic matter inside of these beds with a little splash of chicken manure. So we're going to go ahead and give it a shot to go ahead and pretty much take up space here inside of the garden and plant out some of these sweet potato slips. And then what I'm going to do, I'm also going to come on in and remove all the sweet potatoes out of here and just give them to the chickens, guys, because after this, there's pretty much really no need for me still trying to generate any sweet potato. Of course, like I said, sweet potatoes are one of those crops that they absolutely love the heat. Okay, so with planting them right now where that summer is on its way, I think they're going to do really, really well. I may leave them till our last frost date to come on through, and then we'll go ahead and harvest them like we always do, because one of the things is we really love to leave these potatoes in the ground for a good amount of time so they can go ahead and swell up so we can get some really nice tubers, guys. So what I'm going to do is just pretty much come on in and harvest out these slips. All right, we're just going to go ahead and pull them just like this right here, and we're going to pull more so those nice long ones. And look at that, this is a slip that is pretty much ready to go. Also to note, one of the thing is also, guys, if you plant your sweet, and oh wow, look at that, a beautiful ladybug. Now I'm gonna get to it, but ladybugs is one of those things that I absolutely love in the garden. I can go out there to the plant and move back, and guess what I will find? A ladybug. Now that lets you know that you have a healthy garden and your garden is flourishing, guys, because if you're coming in with harsh chemical to spray your plants, guess what's going to happen? You're going to kill out those ladybugs. And so just by coming through, I've been seeing them, and what that is helping me with the aphids and all that different kind of mites that would want to come in and plague your plants. So the more ladybugs I have is the better for me, because those ladybugs, they eat those insects. All right. So with speaking on the sweet potato, we're going to get back to it. Like I said, if you were to leave this potato in here with all these slips running all over the place, guys, I want to let you know that you will not be getting any potatoes underneath these tubers. It's best for you to go ahead and pull your slips and plant them on out. Don't leave them on your sweet potato thinking you're going to get a tuber on a great yield. If you notice how lush this is, that is all you will end up with just lushness and no tubers underneath. You will get a tuber, the tuber that you started out with. All right, so also keep that in mind. So we're just going to go ahead. Wow, that's a nice root system. And I'm gonna tell you what I'm noticing right here, right now. What I'm noticing, this soil is too rich. Okay, I can pretty much tell by these roots right here on how they're just venturing on out, because there's so much nitrogen in here. All this tuber is do, all this root is doing is just running, running, running. But I tell you what, we're not leaving them in this bed. We're actually, and now stay tuned, I'm gonna tell you what bed we're going to plant them in just a moment. And I am praying that the crop that I harvest out all the nutrients, it would have used up quite a bit of the nitrogen in that bed, guys. Okay, so that's my prayer right now. And also, why that one could have been running like that is because whenever I go fishing and I clean out my fish, what I will typically do, because this is a bed, because looking at these ones right here, they're not doing what that one was doing. Okay, so when I typically,
hold on, let me stop you for 1 second. Keep your train of thought.
yes,
But I'm just getting in close to show them that you're pulling those off potatoes. That are
yes, off potatoes, absolutely, just like that. Okay, and so also, like I said, whenever I go fishing and I catch some fish, guys, what I would typically do, I will just go ahead and scratch the dirt back, and I will go ahead and put the fish guts, the scale, and all that inside of this bed right here. So that could have been a spot where I have some fish guts and all that. Why that tuber or why those roots was running the way how it was. So that's just my whole potato up.
pull the whole potato. Let us see the whole potato.
Whole potato, because like I said, I think we're going to be taking these on out anyway.
Okay.
So that right there is it. And as y'all can see how much slips we are getting. That was one of the questions that one of our subscriber asked. How much slips can you get out of a potato? Now, if you remember, we had came up here and harvest off some slips just the other day. And look where we are again, harvesting more slips. So the longer you leave them on in, this is what's going to happen. If you notice, you're getting more new shoots, guys. You're going to just keep on getting more slips to where they'll even take over this entire bed if you leave them. So that is not what we want here. So that is why I am out here harvesting these slips today. Now, even to kind of answer your question a little bit more, how much slips can you get off of a potato? Of course, I have quite a bit of potatoes in here. I have gotten quite a slips from each potato. I want to also take you on over here where we're going to be planting these slips on out so you can see what's going on. So come on along and let's go. So speaking of slips, if you remember, in this bed right here is where we planted out our garlics. Now, like I said, speaking of slips, all the slips right here came from those potatoes that is over there that I have came on out and planted in this bed. Now, of course, like I said, guys, this soil is very rich with a lot of nutrients. Just about every year or every planting, whenever I come on in, I would like to broadcast out some chicken manure on the top just to get this bed ready. So my prayer is that those garlic would have sucked up all that nitrogen that was inside of this bed right here. And also look at the bouquet of sweet potato slips that I have. Now, just by guessing, I don't think all this slip that I have is going to fit in here. I think I might have too much, but we're going to go ahead and plant them out right at about a foot apart, like I said. And one of the thing is, guys, with, oh wow, look at that. That is a chromes, one of the chromes from elephant garlic. But what I'm going to do, we're going to put them right here on the edge. We're going to put them back in the ground. We're speaking about, you know what, since I'm already on that thought, I'll go ahead and share it with you. But that chrome right there, guys, whenever I harvest my elephant garlic, what I would typically like to do is to push them back down in the ground. What will happen over the summertime, fall, and also in the springtime, guys, once springtime come around, that right there will go ahead and start germinating. And of course, these take 2 years before you can start harvesting cloves of elephant garlic, guys. All right. Bulbs, yes, bulbs. All right, so what I'm going to, well, get back on that thought where I was. Like I said, this soil right here, this right here is pretty much just all organic matter. Just a beautiful, nice, loose, and fluffy soil. Now, one of the things, I don't know if you can see or if you can notice, but look at that. Look at that. These worms, they are just coming through, and what they're doing, they're aerating the soil, they're fluffing the soil for me. And so, guys, that is a plus. All right, so really, I don't need a shovel to dig down in here. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my hand just like that, pull the dirt back, and put that slip right on in there. All right, just like that. And so, like I said, just about a foot apart. Now, I haven't put any uh, any nutrients in here with these potatoes. Now, when I usually used to plant potatoes, guys, I would just put them inside of wood chips, and guess what? Those potatoes, they will just go ahead and take off and start running. And yes, absolutely, we would be able to get a pretty nice, decent harvest just from out of the wood chips. So I am thinking whether should I go ahead, get some phosphorus and potassium and put in here, or I should just leave it like it is.
Leave it.
Leave it like it is?
Yes.
All right, we're going to leave it just like it is and see what the harvest is that we're going to get out of here. All right, so let's go ahead and plant all this. And like I told you guys, the soil here is just so loose, and that we absolutely love that. All right, so we're just putting that slip on in. This right here have 3 slips on it. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull one. Okay. So like I said, guys, I guess this now is going to be pretty much a trial to see what we can get out of these sweet potato slips as time goes on. All right. And yes, if you can also notice that I do have some hay here on the top of these beds. These are hay from when I've planted out my garlic, guys, and I'm going to leave it on top of here because it shouldn't be much nutrients left inside of these hay. All right, so we're going to leave it and see what this area do for us when it comes to these sweet potatoes. All right.
You have a lot of slips.
Yeah, I have a lot of slips, and you know what? It's one of those things I say, I don't want to just let this bed right here just, just lay dormant, which I could have leave it, let it go ahead and just take a rest. But I said, you know what? I have those slips just chilling out there, just growing and looking at me, and it's like they're saying to me, "Hey, man, hey, what are you gonna do with us? Are you gonna just leave us over here with mom? I don't want to stay with mom all my time. I want to go ahead and get in the dirt so I can produce." And that is exactly what we're going to let these slips do for us right here, guys, is produce. Also, look at that. Wow. Do you know what that is? I'm going to let you guess what this is. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to show it to you, and I'm going to let you guess what that is. And also, hey, what you think? How did it get in the garden? All right, guys. So I'm gonna let you think what that was. Now, this is a real healthy slip right here. That's a healthy, yeah, that is just one slip, Bebs. All right, we're going to plant them. We're going to plant that real healthy slip right there and see. And I tell you, I think what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave those potatoes. Yes, sweet potatoes. I'm going to leave them till what, 2 weeks from now.
Oh, you talking about the ones you pulled the slip from?
Yeah, I'm gonna leave them in there, let them go ahead and put a few slips on. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take them on out and, you know, maybe bless somebody with them, because that right there will encourage someone to get outside and get in the dirt, whether they may have to put them in pots or grow bags. Yes, absolutely. Pots or grow bags will definitely work. And, you know, because remember, we always have to remember that our whole goal here as a gardener and being outside in the garden is pretty much to motivate others to get outside in the garden. So I think if I go ahead and get some more slips from those plants and pretty much go ahead and gift them on out, I think that would encourage someone to get in the garden. Because like I always said, guys, hey, get on outside and get in the dirt and plant yourself something. All right, so I'm going to swing on around and we're going to go ahead and plan out the rest. And also, I believe it was someone said, man, you must really love, I don't remember quite what that comment said. You must really love sweet potatoes. And the answer is yes, I do love sweet potatoes. Now, of course, I myself cannot eat all this sweet potato, but one of the things that is good that you can do is when you're planting, you're not just planting for yourself. I mean, if you want to, you can, but just to kind of give you all a little bit of, perspective here, guys, is, hey, sweet potatoes, like I said, I can put in my storage for up to 6 months, if not a little bit longer. If it go longer, they may start putting roots on you, or start putting on slips on you. But it's one of those things where that, hey, I'm out here planting. I'm not just planting for myself. I'm planting for others as well. Like I said, this is pretty much my 9 to 5, which is being out here in the garden and planting and growing, And so, hey, I'm not going to eat all this. Pick another one. You don't like this one? But you know what, Bebs? This one is going to be okay. Because you got to understand, when you plant slips like this, and the reason why she's saying pick another one, because this part right here broke. You could just stick this down inside of the ground, guys, and right where all the leaves comes out at, this slip will start putting out roots, okay? And with those roots that they put out, those roots, you have some that is feeder roots, and you have some of those roots that are the roots that will put on tubers for you. So this is going to be just fine. Not because he is damaged. We're not going to throw him out, because this one right here may just grow the most sweet potatoes. I have that happen before, where that I had plants where that just looked so weak and wimpy, and you know, I still went ahead and planted, and that plant ended up doing really, really well, guys. Of course, once you give it the proper nutrients that it needs. Okay, so one of the thing is, just make sure that whenever you do get outside and you're planting, plant enough food to where that, a, if something happened where that you have to bless someone or to have to give someone some food to eat, plant enough in your garden to where you can go in your garden and cut some food and bless somebody with. Yes, of course, one of those things is where that I do. I do sell my produce. Now, I know you all have been asking, hey, where do you sell your produce at? Guys, most of my produce, I used to sell a lot of the produce to people back up in Atlanta. But I pretty much have a central location now where I take most of this food. Okay. And it's gone before I can even get out there on the street, so I do really would start love to be able to help to provide to you guys as well, because I know you see me planting all this food and you would love to taste it, right? So um, be the most I will. We'll be able to work something out later on down to where, hey, I can start getting on out there to you guys as well, so where you can get you all some of this beautiful food. Oh, well, that is it. I pretty much went ahead and stretch it on out to make sure that we can get majority of them planted out in this area right here. And as y'all can see, we don't have quite a bit left. But guys, this is it right here. Like I said, instead of letting this space right here go to waste, why not just go ahead and plant out some slips in here? Plant out some slips. We ain't gonna do nothing but be able to harvest from it anyway. So I'm going to plan it out just like this bed where I had garlic as well. It's about finished. So what I did, I came on in with a little bit of that black diamond watermelon seeds, and I pretty much just plant them on out inside of this bed right here. And so I'm going to come on through and, hey, later on, be the most I will harvest some watermelons. Okay, so I do have a couple more to plant in here. I'm just going to plant this whole bed with watermelon, guys. It doesn't make no sense that springtime is here and it's planting time and I have beds just lingering. Now, it is good to make sure that you also let your beds rest. But if you think about it, most of the time throughout the fall time, most of my beds is either resting or they have cover crop in them, which is still a process of the bed resting with the cover crop. It's just you putting that bed to sleep until springtime comes around. But nonetheless, guys, I pray that, hey, I did touched on a little bit for you all here. In about 90, I usually like to leave these 150 days in the ground. So till about 90, 120 or 150 days later, we will come on out here and see what these sweet potato done for us. Now I know I am going to have to be chopping and cleaning this up to make sure that they all stay in this bed. But I'm not worrying about that, because for each one that I can come on in and cut and chop, guess what? I can give it to my goats, because yes, they absolutely love sweet potato slips. And also, like I had stated in another video, guys, if you're in a tropical area where you get warm weather all year around, instead of always starting sweet potato slips from your tuber, you can always come back on in and snip. Once this take off and start running, you can always come back on in and snip a piece of this slip off and plant it on out somewhere else in a garden, in your garden where you all are already have it work and ready. So also keep that in mind, that you don't always have to start slips from tuber over and over again. Just go on out there and cut you a piece and plant it on out. So nonetheless, that right there is going to conclude it for this video. I just wanted to come on in and take you all along with me when I come out here to plant these slips, to let you know, don't let your slips go to waste. And as y'all can see, now we're just going to wait until it's harvesting time to see what we get. Now keep in mind, like I said, I'm not going to put anything in this bed, no fertilizer, no nothing. We're going to leave it and see what kind of yield we get from out of here. But nonetheless, remember, you keep a smile on your face, you be happy, you be cheerful, and you be blessed, guys. Until next time, I will catch you all in another video. You have a blessed day. Have a blessed day.